Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another video on Starseed Academy. My name is Jenny, and today I want to talk about the March 13th new moon. So this is a new moon reading about the energies present for the collective right now and what's probably coming up for you in a big way. So I've got 4 separate messages for you for this new moon reading, but they're all revolving around one large theme, and the theme for this new moon is trust. So before we dive in too deeply, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel because you'll get new videos every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. And then also make sure that you like this video, click like if you like it, and share it as well. So the first message about trust is for you to start thinking about trusting in your ideas. You're having these ideas for a reason. And we all do this. We make these lists of all of these, say for instance, business ideas, creative ideas that we come up with. And we've got probably journals full of ideas. And it came from a real place of divine inspiration. In that moment, you connected to something, a potential for your future. But then we close up those books and we put them away and we don't do anything about it. And I'm here to tell you that it's time to look back on some of the old lists that you've been writing out, on some of the ideas that you've been writing out, because there's something in there for you. It's time to start trusting in your ideas and that they are what's going to lead you. They are leading you down the path, your soul path. If you can't trust in your own ideas and your own divine inspiration, then what are you going to trust in this life? That's what it's all about. This is where business ideas, $1 million ideas, creative genius, inventions, it all comes from an etheric higher place and then comes down through a thought form, and then we can put that into action. And so why haven't you put that into action? In most cases, it's fear. Fear of failure probably is the biggest one, but also a fear of becoming overwhelmed. It's too big of an idea or a task that you can't wrap your mind around it, or you can't see yourself doing it. So just write down or visualize for yourself what the very first step would be. Just one step. Because in the present moment where you live, where your power is, all you can ever do is do one thing at a time. So it doesn't need to be overwhelming when you just take it one step at a time. So what is the one thing that will get this ball rolling? And once you've done that one thing, then what's the next right step? Keep it simple. You are more than capable, and you are so worthy of success, and the world needs you. It needs your specific expression. It doesn't matter how many other people are doing something similar or what you want to do. What matters is that you do it, because your energy is what's unique, and that's what's going to make it take on its whole own flavor, its own unique place in the world. Nobody else can offer what you have to offer. So I can't tell you how many times I'm having a one-on-one with a client and I see so much potential and I see their future is so clear, but they are clouded by fear and self-worth issues. But they have something very real to offer. They have experiences that no one else has had that they could share. They have a beautiful vulnerability as they're going through their spiritual growth. That is so relatable. Do you know that if you just shared that, how many people you would help? Just sharing your experience, right? So if you have something to offer, then the first step could be creating a place, a platform for you to share your voice. So if you want to create a page on social media, maybe it's an Instagram page or a YouTube channel or something like that, that's the first step. Just create that. Make space for yourself to have an expression, a safe place where you can be yourself and talk about what you're going through. And then the next thing would be, if you have something to offer, if you have services and talents that you want to offer, What are you waiting for? Start offering them. It's never going to be less scary. So if you're waiting for it to not feel so terrifying, that's not going to happen. You have to just feel the fear and do it anyway. And as soon as you start doing it, it very quickly becomes this beautiful natural extension of who you are. And let me tell you, when you start offering things in this way, offering your expression or offering services or putting yourself out into the world with your truth, then your growth will just take off so quickly. Nothing empowers a spiritual awakening like becoming a teacher in some form, right? So putting yourself out there and sharing or offering services or whatever it is that's right for you, that's going to make your spiritual awakening, your own personal growth and lessons just take right off. And then just remember that even when you become a teacher, you are also always going to be a student. And it's very important to share that aspect as well, to keep it real, right? So you don't always just want to share your wins and just keep coming at things with like a teacher aspect or talking to people all the time, but make it interactive. And share some of your failures, share some of your struggles, share the pathway to your awakening and your growth. Like, keep it very real, keep it very authentic, and people will resonate and people will find you. I'm telling you right now, there are like hundreds of you out there watching this video, and as you're hearing this information, you know it's for you, but you're still gonna try to just, nope, I'm not ready yet. Keep those ideas, those books, whatever you've written out, tucked away in a drawer somewhere. Be brave. Be courageous. The universe rewards bravery. It's time. We need you, and the world is ready. So after you've started trusting in your ideas, which is number 1 message, the next thing in our message number 2 is for you to start trusting your intuition. You are psychic. As a human, it's built in. It's already built in. The pineal gland, built deeply into the center of your brain, is connected to all of your chakras and all of your senses, but specifically to clairvoyance, your third eye, and to clairaudience, your ear chakras, your ability to hear. So clairvoyance means clear seeing. Clairaudience means clear hearing. And this is about seeing with your mind's eye and hearing with your mind's ear. Hearing and seeing beyond the dimension that you're currently in. So more than just this reality and realm, but beyond that and seeing through the cracks of the worlds. I think most of you are hearing with your clairaudience the answers and the guidance. It's more about learning to trust what you're hearing. Because in your mind, when you are asking for guidance and you are reaching out to your team or to source or you're talking to your higher self, it does become a two-way conversation at one point. It's not just you talking. You do start to receive back things and it takes on like a two-way conversation vibe. But you don't trust what you're hearing, that it's your higher self or your team or whoever you've been addressing. You think you're making it up or that it's your ego, right? So that's normal to have doubts, but your ego's not that brilliant. Our egos are not going to come up with amazing wisdom and guidance, right? So when you're hearing back beautiful answers and truth, you have to start realizing that that is coming from a divine place. And for me, how I know it's communication from spirit and from these higher realms is that there's a little bit of a push to the message or to the energy. So it's got a power to it. And when I try to think around it, it kind of pushes forward again. So if I'm asking about how can I heal this particular chakra and I don't know, and then I get an answer and I'm like, oh, I probably made that up. And then the answer comes again and then I'm like, no, and then it comes again. It's like, okay, they're continuing to send it to you. Start trusting in that. Open yourself up to the possibility that you are actually having a conversation with a higher dimensional being. Like you actually are, it really is happening. As soon as it takes on any kind of a back and forth, you're in communication. It's not actually complicated, it's just very subtle. And so that's why when people work with it a lot and practice, then it gets a little bit louder, I guess, right? Or maybe we're just so tuned in that it's loud for us. All it takes is practice, but also a quiet and clear mind. So that's why meditation is key, either a meditation or a meditative walk, something to clear your mind of the monkey thoughts that we all have will allow space for you to hear. So make sure that you're making time to listen. Don't just be talking, but be listening as well, because it's like that cycle of giving and receiving, right? So make sure that you're receiving and making space for that. And then remember that clairaudience happens in your mind's ear. So you're not just going to hear a booming voice in your room. Like it's not in this reality, because they aren't in this reality. They're not here. So it's not going to be like a human talking to you. It's a psychic, telepathic, communicative style. So you hear it in your mind, right? So maybe that is why it's so hard to differentiate between your own thoughts and hearing from spirit. But like I said, there'll be that extra push. And then sometimes they'll speak in a different language style. Use words that maybe you wouldn't use. Maybe it sounds a little bit like formal or old-fashioned, or just different from how you would speak to yourself. Likely that's exactly what's happening for you. So, be prepared for that subtle communication to come through. Start recognizing that as soon as it picks up in a two-way back and forth conversation that you are in communication, you have connected, and then start listening for the guidance. It's probably like really good stuff, like really good ideas, really divine, really high vibrational. Write it down, or take it in and then continue the conversation. Okay, you can confirm things too. That really helps. Like, okay, I hear that you're saying this. Is that correct? And a confirmation will come. And that will come like in a feeling, like a physical feeling, or more words, or something, a sign, something. You will get confirmation. So make time to listen, ask for confirmation, but recognize that you are already in communication with spirit. And then when it comes to clairvoyance, which is your third eye, remember again, the truth is that you're seeing with your mind's eye. So your angel is not just going to walk into the room. If that's what you're expecting, that's not possible. They can't just materialize in the third dimension. It's too dense. It's way too dense for their very super high vibration. If you're going to see in this reality, like in this dimension, if you're going to see spirit, it's going to be sparkles of light out of your peripheral or orbs of light. And a lot of the time our cameras can capture the orbs of light if we don't see them. So that is a powerful way for spirit to come through. But again, that's pretty subtle, right? So it's more about your mind's eye. So this would be when it would be a good idea for you to close your eyes, your physical eyes, open your third eye in your meditation and see what comes through. For me, I try to relax my eyes and they naturally just roll upwards and towards like your third eye point. Don't strain and try to strain your face and try to push your focus through your third eye. It's more about actually laying back into it and relaxing. So when a flower opens and the petals give way and they just lay back and relax, try to just be like a petal that has laid back and is allowing images to now come in. Because when you're trying to focus so hard and you're pushing it back out, if you can picture the energy, if you focus it all on your third eye, you're actually shooting it out and you want to be receiving in. So this is divine feminine, not divine masculine. You're not pushing towards seeing something. You're opening up and laying back and relaxing into seeing something. So let your eyes naturally roll back. Lots of deep breaths, some light music, not too many distractions though. And all of a sudden, something will flash behind your eyes and you'll see something. And then again, get your confirmation. Say, okay, I just saw an angel and it looked like this. Is that correct? Or I just saw, it could be something really strange too. Like I just saw a banana. What does that have to do with anything? Well, maybe they're just helping you to start visualizing things, and maybe you'll get confirmation. Yes, that's the image we sent. Now let's try the next image, right? So it's working with them, the back and forth, and it's practice. And it's like relaxing into it and not trying to push forward or force the energy outwards, because you push your images and your messages away. Think about it as you need to coax it in and start bringing things inward. So I hope that helps. And also please comment down below how you're experiencing your intuition and how you're learning to trust it, because this message is all about trust in what you're receiving. Are you able to do that? And I hope that we'll see some people sharing about that in the comments. So the third message of trust is for you to trust your path. Everything matters. Everything in your life is a stepping stone to greatness. You can't skip any of it. So be grateful and appreciate everything that is in your life currently, because it is leading you to your highest truth. All of the jobs that you've had, think about your jobs for a second. Think about some of the first jobs that you ever had, and then think about the job that you have now. Is it not always progressing? Are you not always moving like upwards in the way that you're treated and in the situations, and hopefully in the finances as well, like in what you're being paid with your abundance? So you're always stepping up, right? That is something to be so grateful for. So you know with that pattern that the next job is going to be even more impressive and aligned to who you truly are. And the same goes for relationships. Like, wow, think about your relationships, right? Think about some of your exes, and then think about where you're at now. Like, even if you're single right now, your self-love and your relationship with yourself is what's going to determine the next relationship that comes into your life. So if your relationship with yourself is growing and deepening, and you're really starting to feel compassion and real love and respect and honor for yourself, then the sky is the limit for the next relationship that you bring in. It's really important to let go of control, because we don't have all of the pieces of the puzzle. We can't see the larger picture. You have to trust your path. Surrender to it, receive it, accept it, soften into it. You are gaining valuable lessons with every experience and relationship and situation, especially when you become the observer of them. So instead of being really lost in the forefront of your life and lost in like the mental chatter and activity and all of the emotions and just like along for the roller coaster ride, pull back a little bit and be in your life more as an observer, right? Because you can be an observer and still partake in everything. But when you have that observer mentality, you kind of zoom out a little bit. You pull back so that you're not lost in the situations, so that you can see them clearly and gain the lessons and see that they are the stepping stones, and you'll just progress even that much more quickly. An amazing way to zoom out is to be present. When you're present in the moment, you're not lost in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your mind, in the chaos or the turbulence of the situation. Remind yourself regularly throughout the day to be present. And you can do that with alarms on your phone. You can set up mental alarms, like, okay, every time I see this kind of, any kind of sign that you want to set up for yourself. Every time I see a bird, every time I say the word love, or anyone else says it, like pick things and then really commit to that in your mind. Like make that a new habit, that whenever you see or hear that thing, you remember to snap back into presence, because it's natural to lose it. We all lose presence. Nobody's living 100% present every moment. We all kind of dip back down and come back up. But the more times you come back up, head above water, right? And in that clarity, that observer mode, that presence, the more times you do that, the easier it is to maintain that. So really practice this. And if you're not sure how to jump into a present state really quickly, it's about a few deep breaths, feel your body, look around, see where you are, look at the situation, see what's been happening, and all of a sudden you're not lost anymore. All of a sudden you're here in this moment. And when you make time to be present, you will naturally feel more grateful. You will become a more grateful person. Because as soon as we snap out of being lost and into presence, as soon as we flip that, we instantly feel, oh, like, I'm so grateful. Like, it will naturally come up, the gratitude, like, thank you so much for this beautiful bird, or for this person talking about love, or for this experience, or for this job, or for this beautiful day. Whatever it is, you will be more grateful. Presence also brings the magic back into life. That's why I loved reading the book by Eckhart Tolle called A New Earth, because every time I picked that book up and would start reading, I would be instantly put into like a hyper-present aware state. And during the period of time that it took me to read that book, my life was so magical. Everything felt so much more real and meaningful and tangible. It was so crazy. And that's why I read that book like 4 times. It's such a good one. So really consider how presence can help you to trust your path, to surrender to it, and to accept what's coming into your now moment, and to zoom out and kind of see the higher perspective. And if you can't see, like I said, you're not going to see how all the parts fit together, because you're supposed to learn to trust. You were never supposed to have all of the answers. So that's why when you are asking your team for guidance, they're not always going to tell you what you want to hear. Like, people want specifics, right? Like, should I continue working at this job? Should I continue dating this person? It's not a black or white, like, you can't say yes or no. First of all, it's your free will and your decision to do so. Second of all, you're supposed to work your way through the experiences to gain the lessons and the feelings and develop all of these new levels to yourself. So nobody's going to give you the answers, not even your team. You have to surrender and live through it. And you can do that, especially when you learn to trust your path. The 4th message around trust is for you to start trusting your emotions. You need to allow, again, this is about surrender. Trust and surrender feel like a lot of the same thing right now. So allow your emotions to flow. You don't have to know why you feel sad or angry or hyper or whatever it is that you're feeling. Please just allow yourself to have it in that moment and to express it in a safe way in that moment. We need to allow ourselves to feel our feelings so that we can return to peace. As soon as it comes up and you express it, it's gone, and then you can return to peace. Our natural state as humans is peace. It's in the heart chakra. It's a gentle thrumming peace, very similar to the energy of the earth. Earth has a very gentle peace. Her vibration, her heartbeat is gentle peace, right? We, living on Gaia and being the same kind of organic beings, have that same base. And if you're not feeling your natural state of joyfulness, very light, gentle peace and joyfulness, if you're not feeling that, it's because you've piled all kinds of stuff on top of it. So this is about removing all of the layers, such as trusting whatever emotion is coming up, so that you can return to your natural state. Plus, if you allow your emotions to flow and to come up and to spend themselves out, like they will exhaust themselves, it will come to an end. Just allow it to start, and the flow will continue for a while, and then it will naturally subside. After it subsides, the meaning will usually come forward for you, if you don't already know. And you'll start to realize why you felt the way that you did, and you'll start clicking together these puzzle pieces in your mind, having aha moments, growth, lessons, all because you trusted your emotions and allowed them to flow. Another really important part of trusting your emotions is to trust what you're feeling when you're in the presence of others. So if you feel, especially if it continues to repeat itself, like if you're in the presence of someone and they make you feel anxious or bad in some way. And every time you're around that person, you feel the same way, then why are you continuing to spend time with that person? Why are you not trusting that? Like, we don't give ourselves the credit. Our gut, our heart, it knows. It knows. It's like a physical reaction. It gets confused up here in the mental world, but the body knows. Trust the body, trust the emotions. Emotions are actually much more about the body than they are mental. Up here is all thinking. From the neck down is all emotions. Think about that. When you feel emotions, it's a very physical feeling. Like if you're angry, it burns in your chest. That's a physical feeling. If you're scared, it flutters and drops like all the way down to your stomach. If you're nervous, physical. If you're in love, physical. Stop thinking of emotions as mental thoughts that you can control and realize that emotional energy is your body responding to something. You cannot shut down the body without creating blocks. So stop shutting down your emotions and your intuition and start trusting and looking into things. Why do I feel this way? Now your mental intuition can help figure out what's going on by working together with the body's feelings. But emotional energy is all about the body. The body responds to other people, to situations. It gives us warnings and it gives us like the green light, go ahead, all the time. It's always working. But are you in tune with your body? Are you connected? And how do you get to that place? Presence. Right back to presence and being in the present moment and getting out of here. This is the very busy place of mental chatter, and coming back into the body. And then you feel again, and then you experience again. So you can use your emotions to help you make decisions by tuning in and by trusting. And this is a huge part of intuition as well, because intuition is also quite a physical experience. So trust in your body, trust in your emotions, tune in for the answers, and honor all that you are. So which one of these messages is the most relevant for you right now? Which one spoke to you? Was it trusting your ideas, trusting your intuition and psychic gifts, trusting your path, or trusting in your emotions, which is your body? So which one was it for you? I can't wait to read all about it in the comments section. I always love reading your comments and I try to reply to every single one. And I just want to thank you so much for being here and tuning in. Please remember to click like if you like this video because that's very encouraging. So just click like right now. And then if you want to share this for other people, for them to connect with this new moon energy, please feel free to share this video as well. And of course, make sure you're subscribed. If anybody out there is resonating with my energy, then there are so many ways that you can support me. You can donate through the link in the description box to my work, or you can sign up to be a client and we can work together one-on-one. And I have quite a few services that you'll also find listed in the description with easy clickable links there. So thank you so much. And before you go, of course, I want to remind you to listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.